now that we've gone through, we've set up Cloud9, we've imported Lambdas that used to live in AWS, and we want to develop them locally in our development environment, we can actually start writing code against it. So step one is you can just look over here at this panel and make sure that you've selected the Lambda that was imported. So this, again, was the Lambda we imported earlier. If I look on the left here, it'll match this file structure. So you can see there's a Lambda payloads JSON, and this is actually a test payload, and this is actually the Lambda function that we imported. And this is a really, really important step here, is that this is actually a YAML file that describes the properties of this Lambda function. Now, one problem we're going to have to solve here is that this runtime that we selected is Python 3.7, but we know that on this machine, if we go to Python 3 -- version, that actually it's only able to run Python 3.6. So one of the things that we're going to need to do initially is actually change this runtime so that it matches the same runtime that we're using locally. So if I go here and I say Python 3.6 and I save that, now that's going to allow me to test it against the Python I've got installed locally. So next, I can go to this Lambda function here, and I can make some modification in addition to the runtime modification. So let's say I want to say, there's another event I want to add. So we'll add a Z here, and we'll call event Z. Now I can change this to say X plus Y plus Z, and then I can add this and extend it and say and Z colon, and we'll do Z. And then what I'll do is I'll now return the value of X, Y, and Z. So we've made a pretty significant change to the logic of our application. Now, how do I actually test this? It's a little different because we're not in the console where I can use that wizard that allows us to create a test payload. So how do I test that out? Well, what you do is you go to this section here on the right, and you select the function that was imported. I'm going to select Control, right-click on it, and I'm going to select Run. Now I have several options here. I can run locally, I can run remote, so I can actually execute it remotely, or I can run an API gateway local, which is a REST-based API, or an API gateway remote, also a serverless REST-based API. I'm going to choose Run Local, and now I can actually go through here and create a payload. And I'm going to go and put Z here, and then we'll add Z, and we'll make that also 2. And then we'll add a comma. So now I have a dictionary that I'm going to pass in, and I'm going to click on this Run button here, and it'll actually execute my Lambda function. There we go. And now you can see that, in fact, it is incorporating our new code, right? So it says response total. I can see that the log message is also able to print that. And so this, again, is all locally run and testable. And if I break it, let's say I put the wrong variable in here, you also can see how that works. If I say run, this will give us a traceback, and you can see that it says there's a key error. This key actually didn't get passed in. It's expecting that key, and we can see exactly the output. So really a powerful interface to test Lambda functions locally here, and also completely use the natural tools that you're most likely familiar with, an IDE, like an interpreter. That's really the power of this Cloud9 environment, is that that workflow where you can go back and forth, import a Lambda function, change the source code, and then test it out, see the local errors, and then fix it. And then once you're done, ultimately go ahead and deploy it.